Marshal Thatch, most commonly referred to by his epithet Blackbeard, is the captain-turned-admiral of the Blackbeard Pirates, and one of the four emperors. He is also the only known person in history to wield the powers of two devil fruits. He started out his pirate career as an apprentice of the Whitebeard Pirates, then later became a member of the crew's 2nd Division. However, he defected after murdering Thatch, the 4th Division commander, in order to steal the Yami Yami Nomi. Prior to the 2-year timeskip, he briefly held a position among the 7 Warlords of the Sea after defeating and handing Ace over to the Marines, before resigning upon returning from Impel Down with multiple level 6 prisoners to strengthen his crew. His actions resulted in him being considered a part of the worst generation along with the 11 Supernovas. His murder of Whitebeard at the Summit War of Marineford and subsequent stealing of his Gura Gura Nomi power, as well as his victory in the Payback War and conquest of the majority of Whitebeard's territories during the timeskip, resulted in his acknowledgement as one of the 4 emperors. He also turned the island of Hachinosu into his base of operations after the Rocky Port incident. Blackbeard believes people's dreams don't ever end. Blackbeard's personality seems to be a strange mix of courage and cowardice, as well as high intellectual capacity and stupidity. While at times his character looks strong and fearsome, in others he will seem weak and ridiculous. He is very deceptive, joining the Whitebeard Pirates to find the Yami Yami Nomi and killing a fellow crewmate despite having spent 2 decades aboard the ship. He also deceived the Marines by joining the 7 Warlords of the Sea in an elaborate and convoluted fashion for the sole reason of gaining access to Impel Down in order to find new crewmates, and later resigning from it in front of the fleet admiral himself, saying that he does not need it anymore. He is also exceedingly power-hungry and greedy, aiming to become the next pirate king. Blackbeard is also an ungrateful man by nature, as described by Marco. Despite the fact that Whitebeard took him in and treated him as a son like the rest of the crew for more than 20 years, Blackbeard did not hesitate to betray his father figure to acquire the devil fruit Thatch found. He then later went on to further show he never had an ounce of respect or care for the Whitebeard Pirates as a whole other than for his own selfish agenda by killing his former captain and claiming all his territories as his own. Blackbeard is a very patient and careful pirate, as stated by Shanks. Unlike other powerful pirates, he never gained renown and remained concealed, up to the point that he only makes his moves when he sees an opportunity for power. One example is his decision to target the Straw Hat, Kid, or Heart Pirates after their adventures in Wano country, allowing him to attack the latter to steal their Road Poniglai etchings, showing his cowardice in obtaining those etchings himself, and instead exploiting other pirates' hard work so he could work towards becoming the Pirate King the easy way, without putting himself in danger. However, despite his careful planning, he tends to rush into battle recklessly, as he was scolded by Augur for going into battle without a battle plan, even endangering the lives of one of his lieutenants and his pet, just to get what he set his mind on, fully accepting injuries that might result from this, ironically sharing this recklessness to rush into battles without a plan, just like his archenemy, Monkey D. Luffy. Blackbeard also seems to believe that devil fruit powers are everything you need to be strong, as he was stating to Law that the trade-offs of gaining a devil fruit's unique power were well worth the drawbacks, ignorant of the several disadvantages one has when possessing a devil fruit, namely the inability to swim. As one of the 4 emperors, Blackbeard is one of the 4 most powerful pirates in the world. Even before becoming an emperor, Thatch was an immensely powerful pirate, even for a former member of the Whitebeard Pirates and 7 Warlords of the Sea. At some point in his life, Thatch once fought Shanks and gave him the scars on his left eye, with Shanks admitting that the injury did not occur because of carelessness. Their battle led Shanks to cautiously recognize Thatch as an extremely dangerous menace. Ace once stated that Blackbeard could have become a commander when he was recommended for the position. The most remarkable thing in these 2 feats is that Thatch had not yet eaten a devil fruit. After the Summit War of Marineford, the 5 elders believed that Blackbeard had a one-step lead to usurp the position of emperor that Whitebeard once held, which eventually came to fruition. During the timeskip, he gained mass notoriety with his bounty being set at belly 2,247,600,000, showing how dangerous he had become. For unknown reasons, it was later raised to belly 3,996,000,000, making his bounty the 2nd highest out of the current emperors and the highest among the former warlords of the sea and members of the worst generation. He easily defeated his fellow ex-warlord, Boa Hancock, and even Silver's Rayleigh, the former right hand of the Pirate King, confessed that he would stand no chance against Teach due to his elderly age. The most prominent feats that showcase Teach's incredible power were displayed by him defeating 3 division commanders of the Whitebeard Pirates, Thatch, Portgastede Ace, and later during the Payback War, Marco, the new captain of the Whitebeard Pirates. After the timeskip, he and his crew fought against the Revolutionary Army and destroyed their headquarters on Boltigo, before briefly clashing against the Marines and the Cipher Pole and eventually fleeing the place. Blackbeard has shown himself to be an expert planner and a master at orchestrating manipulative schemes. However, for all his combat prowess and intellect, Blackbeard can be overconfident and careless, as noted by Whitebeard. He has a habit of concentrating too much on conversations with his opponents while fighting them, letting his guard down in the process, a weakness he has demonstrated in his battles against Whitebeard, Luffy, Ace, Magellan, and Law. This usually results in him suffering critical injuries. In fact, if not for Shiria's help, Teach and his entire crew would have been killed by Magellan's poison. Teach has an immense amount of superhuman endurance and durability. During his fight with Ace, he was engulfed in flames and pierced in the chest by 2 fire spears, but after putting out the flames, he was able to shake off the impact of the attacks. Another indication of his sheer endurance is shown when he took a jet pistol from an enraged Luffy, and was hit by one of Sengoku's shockwaves in his Daibutsu form only to come out with minor injuries both times. Teach also shows an incredible tolerance to pain as, despite his devil fruit greatly amplifying the pain he receives, this never stops him for long, demonstrated when he took a point-blank quake bubble attack from Whitebeard to his head and neck without losing consciousness. Through an unknown method, Blackbeard became the first and so far, only known person to wield the powers of 2 devil fruits at the same time. Marco speculated that this was possible due to an unstated peculiarity unique to Blackbeard himself, having to do with an atypical body structure of some sort. He also pointed out that the other Whitebeard pirates should be aware of this fact. With the power of darkness, the Yami Yami no Mi, which reduces anything to nothingness, the most frightening power of the fruit is that it allows Blackbeard to absorb and nullify other people's devil fruit powers. So long as Blackbeard maintains physical contact with the other devil fruit user, it is as if the victim never ate their devil fruit at all, and the power of earthquakes, the Gura Gura no Mi, which brings destruction to everything, he has the power to send incredibly powerful shockwaves through the air, creating cracks in the air itself in the process. Blackbeard claimed himself to be truly invincible and the strongest of them all. Blackbeard has since attempted to acquire other additional devil fruits such as Boa Hancock's Maro Maro no Mi, though it is not known if he has acquired any more abilities yet or how many he has in total. Blackbeard is an extremely skilled user of Busashoku Haki, as he was able to defend himself against Esok's Sword Slash, which could cut Amazon Lily's large mountain in half, and is also highly skilled user of Kenbunchaku Haki.